everyone, and welcome back to Sprinkle with Paper. Today we're making an easy family door sign. I've seen these all over Pinterest and Instagram, so I figured let's give it a shot and make our own. The supplies needed to complete today's project are a circular board, Velcro, foam paintbrush, paint, painter's tape, a scraping tool, weeding tool, some greenery, measuring tape, some decorative ribbon, a mini Cricut heat press or just an iron, and a hot glue gun. Lastly, you'll need HTV in any color of your choice. I'll be using white glitter. The first thing we're going to do to make our door sign is we're going to tape off the section that we would like to paint. You can make this section any size that you would like, but I'm going to make mine pretty large because I want the majority of my wording to fit within the black painted section. I'm just going to make sure that there's enough space up top for the greenery to be on the wood, and then I want a little bit of the wood section also showing at the bottom. Once your board is prepped, it's time to start painting. For my paint, I'll be using a black acrylic. I chose to go with a darker color, not only because it matches the decor of the outside of my house, but also because I'm using white HTV and I wanted to pick something that was really going to make the letters pop. Once you're done painting, make sure you pull off the painter's tape before the paint dries. That's how you'll ensure a nice clean line. Now before making our design in Cricut Design Space, we need to measure the space where we're going to put our design. So we have 5.5 inches for the height and 11.5 inches for the width. I'm not too worried about fitting the height of the design within the painted section, but I do need to make sure that I have the right width. Now to create our design, we will head on over to Cricut Design Space and we will open up a new project. I'm going to click on Uploads and I'm going to select the Family SVG. This file is available in my Etsy shop for $1 when you use the code YouTube. I will link it down in my description box below. Now all we need to do is simply customize the design with our last name. Click Text and type in the last name you would like on your sign. You could use any font that you like, but I'll be using the Cricut Classic. Now resize using the arrow in the bottom right corner, and if needed, you could use the letter space tool up at the very top to bring your letters either closer together or to space them apart if you need to. Once you're happy with the look, highlight the whole thing and click Weld. Lastly, we'll need to resize the design to fit onto our board. I'm going to adjust the width to 10.5, which is 1 inch smaller than the width of my board, and I'm just going to leave the height as is. Now click Make It, and from here we just need to make sure that we click the mirror option. This is important since we're going to be using the HTV iron-on material. Now when we prepare our mat, we need to be sure to place the HTV shiny side down. This is why we mirrored our image, because we are cutting the back side of the material. Secure with masking tape if needed and load into your Cricut machine. Now while our design is cutting, this will be a great time for us to make our bow. I'm going to take this ribbon that I found at the Dollar Tree and I'm going to cut about 1.5 feet to use for my bow. I'll loop it around 2 times, flatten it down, then we'll use either twine or string to pinch the middle of the ribbon together and then tie it into a knot. Now just fluff out your 4 loops, and using a small piece of ribbon about 4 inches long, tie it into a knot and wrap it around the center of your bow. Then secure it with a little bit of hot glue. And now you have a simple but pretty bow to add onto your sign. At this point, your HTV should be done cutting. Weed out the unwanted negative pieces and prepare your iron or your Cricut Easy Press to attach your HTV to your sign. I'm so happy with how this sign is turning out. The last few steps to finish off the sign is to add the greenery and our bow. As for the greenery, I'm only going to add on 2 of the stems from this bunch. If I added on the whole thing, it would be way too overpowering for my sign. I'll add a thin bead of hot glue to the stems of my greenery and attach them to the top of my sign. As for my bow, instead of attaching it with hot glue, I'm going to attach a little piece of Velcro first. That way I can switch out my bows for the different seasons and the different holidays. I love the way this sign turned out. It was so easy to make and the whole thing cost under $15. Thank you so much for watching today's craft with me. I hope it inspired you to make something personalized for your own home. If you have any questions regarding this project, please leave them down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy crafting!